record it. So, all right. The energy is really intense these days, and emotions are running high. There's a lot of even people who are working together and working on creating freedom and creating healing and a higher level of vibration for awakening souls. It can be, there's still, it's like I said this to somebody, it's like there's this meme that's like red, when you put red and black ants in a jar together and you shake the jar, they're going to fight with each other. And that's kind of the energy that's in us in these days. And I don't know about you, but for me, I've said this before, but it is so essential to quiet our minds and to center every day, because it's so intense. I found myself just, if I'm not meditating and if I'm not quieting my mind and bringing in light, I find that I'm just getting really irritable and irritated. And there's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on, not just with all this stuff around us, the constant nonstop nonsense is what I call it. Not to say it's not real, but, of course we know that a lot of this is coming from some deep shadows of manipulation. But there's stuff happening in people's lives that's just big deal things. We recently had we're still treating my daughter for acute Lyme disease. She's only 6. And that's been extremely overwhelming, and just this whole world we were immersed in, just treating her. We're doing antibiotics, but we're doing a lot, and we're also doing a lot of herbal remedies. Working with an amazing naturopathic doctor, a chiropractor, my herbalist friend, and we're all of these things. We have so much stuff we're giving her. Most of it's herbal supplements, but there's some trace minerals in there. Anyway, it's just a lot. And I hear from people left and right, there's these crises happening for people all over the place. And, with clients, I've seen, not everybody it's happening to, but what I often will say to clients is this is what's happening. It's this energy that's with us. It's calling up all the shadows, all the stuff that's been simmering underneath the surface that hasn't been really dealt with, or that maybe even we thought that we healed this pattern or something in our lives, and we're like, why is it coming back again? I thought I dealt with that. Why is it here again? And it can, the ego can come in and start to be like, well, you're never going to get through this, or you can't do that, or all these negative things. But really, what I believe, at least, is that anything that is still there, we wouldn't be human if we weren't always working through stuff, right? Otherwise we'd just die and be done with our learning. But as long as we're still alive, we've still got stuff to work on. We've still got lessons to learn. So anything that is still there that needs to be healed is coming up right now, right in front of our faces, literally right here. It's now's the time. We've got to clear our shadows. Why? Because we're expanding into our light. And in order to fully expand and embody our light, the shadows are heavy, they're dense. We need to clear them away. So any of the negative beliefs, the patterns, the negative persistent thoughts, the habits, it's a lot of it's relationships with people. And we're being asked to rise above and just forgive others and have compassion for them, even though we may see things in very different perspectives. So what did you say here? Sydney, can high levels of emotion affect the actual weather? I don't know about that. I mean, I believe, why not, right? Why not? I think energy, there's so much intense energy that I think it could go actually both ways. The weather can affect our emotions, and our emotions could affect the weather, because at least here in Maine, we've been having so much rain, and too much rain. So it's like, why is the weather so weird? And I think, that has to do with the energetic shifts in the planet as well. But yeah, so, either way, I wanted to do a meditation this evening on clearing heavy emotions, because that's what a lot of us are experiencing. Anger, sadness, just a lot of anger for in varying ways. It's all that we're experiencing. Me too. And I am pretty good at processing. I think I am processing it, but I will say when it came to my daughter and her health, and I, wasn't certain things, I was having resistance from the pharmacy, it brings out the side of me that only it's only reserved for very special times that I unleash a form of rage. If you're not giving me what I need for my child, watch out. The poor pharmacist, but she did it. Got me what I needed for her. Anyway, so when it comes to our children, that protective mama bear, can come out, and it's interesting. I kind of watch myself, I'm like, wow, where did that come from? It's like ferociousness when I wasn't getting what I needed to help her. Anyway, so all right, let's do a meditation. This is going to be short this evening because I've got to wrap up. Not exactly, I never run on time, but more on time than I usually do. So, all right, let's come into a quiet space, closing our eyes. You can take a few deep, conscious, intentional breaths, breathing in deeply, holding each time, and then slowly, slowly exhaling out. Cleansing breaths. Feels so good to bring in oxygen and to release what is not serving us. Just let it go. Now you can come into an awareness of what's happening in your body, going internal, connecting inward, which we're not often doing these days. Our attention is being pulled out into the external. When we take a moment to just pause, push pause, and notice how our breath is still here, flowing in, flowing out, and our heart is still beating. And all the miraculous systems in our bodies are working together. Truly is a miracle. We can then bring in, invite in calm and peace, and a feeling that even while things around us are in chaos, while it feels like the world is raging and there's confusion and division and all of these things that can cause us pain and grief, that the ultimate source of truth is within. It is how we are feeling within our hearts, and deep down we know that it's going to be okay. And that there's a purpose and there's a reason to what's happening. And then when we connect in with our hearts, when we connect with inner guidance, our higher guidance, sources of love and light, connected to that one I am presence of God, that we can allow in this knowing from a deep place that we are moving into these higher states of consciousness, that this is a process of liberation of the human species from years of imprisonment, of oppression, of being asleep, to this age of awakening, of healing, of connection, of unity. It may not seem like that right now at all, but it's happening one-on-one, relationship by relationship, behind closed doors. People are connecting. Some people are still raging. Some people are still fighting and scared, and that fear can translate into what seems like temporary insanity. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. You're all here going through this human experience, which feels like a deep, traumatic one together. So in this moment, you can bring in the energy, if you like, of Archangel Michael. And this energy is all about clearing negative energy, low vibration emotions, anything, energy or emotions that does not belong to us, that is not ours. You can begin by scanning your body. As if you had a magic wand, just scanning and noticing if there's something that doesn't feel like it belongs as you bring the awareness down through your head, down through your neck. Scanning the front and back of your body. What feels out of place? What feels like it's not supposed to be here? Get this all the way down to your feet and take a moment. Maybe that emotion just kind of jumped out at you. Maybe there's a word, a label for it. I'd like you to imagine now that that emotion you're putting in to a box, almost like a nice little present that you're gift wrapping, or maybe you want to put it in something else, whatever works for you. That you're taking that emotion out of you just for now, just putting it into a little box. Maybe there's a nice little bow on that box, and what you are now given permission to do is to give that emotion to the realm of the angels, to the higher dimensions of light, allowing it to float up, allowing it to move up and up. We're going higher and higher, up through the clouds, up through the higher levels of atmosphere. It's getting colder. You're moving it into different dimensions, angelic realm, where it's now being surrounded by light and being transmuted. That emotion is being dissipated as if that little box is beginning to dissolve, to disintegrate, to become one with the light. These beings of light are happy to do this for us. Their light is so strong. They can take our emotions, they can take our burdens, they can lift them from us to help but free us. Now continue to do that with any other emotion that you're noticing in your body, or maybe you can even identify an emotion. Maybe it just feels like there's something sticky or heavy or tight, or maybe it's some clunky block that you know is not serving you. Even there might even be a part of you that is attached to it in some way. It's been there for a while. See if in this moment now you can allow yourself to let go of at least some of that, since it's been weighing you down and you are ready at some level to lighten your load. So take a moment, notice where it is, label it if you can, spelling out the word. Maybe it's anger, maybe it's resentment, maybe it's grief, maybe it's fear, anything that you would like to have lifted, label that emotion, wrap it in a box or some other form of packaging, and allow it to be lifted up and transmuted into love in the realm of the highest love that there is. Let's take a moment here. One by one, lifting these boxes up into the angelic realm, dissolving away, scanning your body, picking up on what else might be there. You may notice that some of the emotions need bigger boxes than others, and so allow them to be bigger, allow them to take up the space they need. And notice as a few of these have now been lifted, been removed from your body, from your energetic space, if you feel a little bit more open and expansive, if you feel a sense of lightness and freedom, you can breathe easier, take a deep breath in, slowly exhale out. And I'd like you to now imagine that this beautiful light, rainbow light, maybe there's a particular color that you feel just showering down upon you, bathing you in this beautiful vibration of light, color, and light. Feel that flowing into your body, and it's replacing what was once there, that light, that color, almost like paint, like the most beautiful nature-based, plant-based paint you can imagine. It's filling up your body as if you're filling up a cup that overflows. Feel that light flowing in your body, golden, white, maybe pink, purple, iridescent, crystalline light. It's blue, it's green. And see if that light has a message for you. If it's, what is the message this light is imbuing into your body? What is the message the light is carrying for you? Is it a word? Is it a feeling? Just receive that message now. Let that light fill up your heart. Let it spill out, overflowing your hands and feet, spilling out into your aura, and really feeling your heart opening and blossoming as it receives this light, soaking it up in every pore of your body as well. anything else that feels like it's still there. Just imagine that there's a giant broom coming, or maybe it's your own hands and you're just whisking it away, just brushing it off. Any excess stuff. I actually like to do this thing where I brush off my body 7 times after I've been around some negative energy, or sometimes I do it between clients just to clear the energy. Really powerful. You can even just imagine you're doing that, or physically do it, actually do it as I am, just clearing that stuff away. Taking a deep breath, coming into gratitude now with your hands in prayer position at your heart center, over your heart, in your lap, whatever feels right for you. Just giving thanks, honoring this beautiful light and this beautiful divine guidance of Archangel Michael and the Most High beings from the angelic realm, honoring yourself. You can take a deep breath in, slow exhale, come back into your body, stretch out. And then whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. So I always love hearing what people experienced in that. Blessings to you as well. If you want to share, if you want to type in here, you can do that. I picked up on some interesting things, some anger, some loss, and a real feeling of loss of like the old life, and the old relationships. And man, there was some anger in there though. That was like really, that was the biggest one. Um, oh, thank you so much, Sydney. I appreciate that. Same to you. And what I felt it was placing it was light, and the message of the light was you are loved, and and share that love. Just allow that love to be felt by others, and that really is what we need in this world right now. I definitely have my opinions, as a lot of you know, but I personally believe that a lot of people just don't know who to trust and who to believe. There's a lot of awakening happening. I'm seeing it among people, and it's exciting, but it doesn't, I think my belief is just really bringing people together and trying to find common ground, trying to find unity is where we need to go, because love is the only way. It's the only tool that's going to overcome all the low vibrational stuff. And we have varying perspectives, and they're trying to pit us against each other. And that's not the answer. And it's just this false fear-based narrative that many of us are starting to see through, because when it comes down to it, we're each one. We are one. We are each individual expressions of source energy in different bodies. And we have different ways that we perceive what's occurring. We have different, perspectives and opinions and beliefs, but it does not mean that we are separate. It does not mean that we are that we need to be fighting, and that we need to, we all want to find, who's responsible for this, and ultimately it comes back to us. It comes back to each one of us. Even though I talk about who I believe is responsible, ultimately it comes back down to me and the vibration and the energy that I contribute to the collective and to each one of us here. And that's going to be how we heal, is learning to shift our own energy and our vibration, and sharing that love and compassion and forgiveness for ourselves, and then for others. Then we will be lifted. So deep heavy sorrow, Jenny. Yes, you are the light and love. Beautiful. And so that, that type of meditation, do that a lot, because we need that more and more and more than ever, just so much. And there's some meditations, like I do energy clearing stuff a lot. There's a few of my podcasts that I often will give to clients. Let's see if I can share one of them here. There's a longer one called Sacred Room Energy Healing, and my podcast is called The Courageous Path, on SoundCloud and on iTunes. But I also have a shorter one, kind of like that, which is just basic, energy clearing. But the visualization, I just made that up. But the visualization is very powerful, as you probably can experience, because it really, we want to get these emotions out of us. And so we're not, feeling them any longer. Well, here's one, hands-on energy healing. I'm going to share this one. Oh no, that's not the one I want to share. Anyway, I'll share my podcast and then you can look through it. How's that? All right. So I've got to go, and but I do want to say that I'm doing a retreat in October, and it's already, it's amazing. There's 4 people signed up in the first day or 2. So people really want, we want retreats. We're craving just time to get away. This is a divine feminine retreat, doing a rock cacao ceremony, really working with the energies of Mother Mary and Kuan Yin, and really bringing in that beautiful healing female ascended master energy, with meditations, with learning about the ascended masters, having a raw vegan, mostly raw, definitely vegan menu. And there's still a spot for a shared room. You want to share with a beautiful woman. And there's also still, I think, 5 spots for the day, just to come for the day on Saturday. The other 4 for the overnight are all full. But here's the link for the retreat. It's so powerful to get away and get this beautiful lake house in October here in Maine, when the leaves are beautiful. So I wasn't going to do this, but I'm doing a retreat for this program I'm teaching. That's a 10-month program. And by the way, I'm doing that next week, and I may have a spot because somebody had to cancel at the last minute. So if you're interested in coming next week, let me know. Next week on September 17th, I think, on an island in Maine here. So anyway, but so many people were excited to come to that just for the day. And I was like, wow, people really need this, really want this. So I created another one, and I want it too. I get to benefit from it, even though I'm kind of facilitating it, but I get benefit from it too. So anyway, give yourself the gift, even if you don't go to the retreat, get away somewhere if you can, just to get away from it all, unplug, go out in nature. We need that. We need to rest from this. Yeah. All right. Many blessings. Much love to you all. Have a good night. Bye.